Hello and welcome to the 17th Annual Gold Derby TV Awards. This is our nominations phase. Over the last few weeks, over 1,500 people voted on their favorites in 30 different categories, and we're going to announce those nominees today. We did decide to move over to the new Emmy rule about whatever number of slots they were going to have available for their nominations, we would as well. We only made a couple of exceptions, one being we felt like limited lead categories should be 6 instead of 5. And we have some of our own categories like Ensemble, Breakthrough, Performer of the Year, Episode of the Year. We decided to go with 6 on those since those aren't Emmy categories. So thank you all for voting. Hope you enjoy our little ceremony here. I'm Chris Beachum. We've got our other editors, Susan Wloszczyna, Daniel Montgomery, Joyce Eng, Marcus Dixon, Paul Sheehan, and we'll each be taking on some categories. Daniel will be providing some insights into how the voting went, not who out of these people finished where, but certainly who finished in the just missing out slots and how close some of the things were. So I'm going to start off with 2 categories as everybody starts disappearing off your screen. Daniel's going to stay with me for a moment. And the Variety Talk Series, the 5 nominees are Daily Show with Trevor Noah, Full Frontal with Samantha Bee, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, and Late Show with Stephen Colbert. And our Variety Sketch Series, by the way, we're not putting 30 seconds in between each nominee like they did on Tuesday. Variety Sketch Series, At Home with Amy Sedaris, A Black Lady Sketch Show, Drunk History, and Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, and we had 4 nominees there. There were only 3 at the Emmys. With the Emmys, there was a sliding scale between 0 and 4, depending on how many people submitted in each category, if that few people submitted. So for Variety Talk Series, James Corden just missed by literally 18 points, and Patriot Act with Hassan Minaj was also pretty close. For sketch though, it was pretty much always these 4. The next runner-up was Tiffany Haddish, They Ready, which was almost 300 points out of a nomination.
All right, well, let's move on to the reality categories. First up is reality host, and the nominees are Nicole Byer, Nailed It, RuPaul Charles, RuPaul's Drag Race, Ellen DeGeneres, Ellen's Game of Games, Heidi Klum and Tim Gunn, Making the Cut, Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman, Making It, and the Queer Eye hosts from Queer Eye. And moving on to competition program, our nominees are American Ninja Warrior, The Masked Singer, Nailed It, RuPaul's Drag Race, Survivor, and The Voice. And I also have one more, so do you want me to do that, Daniel, right now?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Animated program. This is one of our favorites here. We have Big Mouth, Bob's Burgers, BoJack Horseman, Rick and Morty, and The Simpsons.
Yeah, and just missing for reality host, Marcus, I know this will make you sad. Jeff Probst was in 7th place for reality host.
At least Survivor got into series. I mean, come on, that's amazing.
And Gordon Ramsay was also close for Master Chef. For competition program, let me get those up. We had Chopped actually just missed. America's Got Talent just missed. I downloaded these onto a PDF and some things got cut off, so I don't have who's number 6 exactly here, but I can't remember exactly. So in animation, we had Family Guy missing out. South Park was, and Central Park, which I loved on Apple TV Plus. I'm guessing not enough people saw that. And Steven Universe actually rounded out our top 10.
It might make it in next year then, if it was that close.
Yeah.
Next, we have the limited and movie categories. First is supporting actor. The nominees are Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Watchmen, Titus Burgess, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Kimmy versus the Reverend, Joe Mantello, Hollywood, Tim Blake Nelson, Watchmen, Jim Parsons, Hollywood, and Jesse Plemons' El Camino. So very different from the Emmys. And then supporting actress, we have Rose Byrne, Mrs. America, Hong Chow, Watchmen, Toni Collette, Unbelievable, Allison Janney, Bad Education, Sarah Paulson, Mrs. America, and Jean Smart, Watchmen. Also very different.
Yeah, my favorite part is how we nominated 2 Mrs. America actresses, the Emmys nominated 3, and there's no overlap.
and we nominated Sarah and not Holland.
Yeah. And for supporting actor, actually, one of the Emmy nominees, Louis Gossett Jr., came close for us in 7th place, and another Emmy nominee, Dylan McDermott, came close for us in 8th place. So for the actresses, we had Angelica Ross, actually, for American Horror Story 1984, was the closest runner-up in 7th place. Then we had Patti LuPone. And among the Emmy nominees, you had Tracy Ullman was in 9th, Holland Taylor was in 11th, Margot Martindale was in 12th, Uzo was in 14th. So they were all in the top 15 there.
Now we have the leads in limited series or TV movies. Among the actors, it's Chris Evans, Defending Jacob, Hugh Jackman, Bad Education, Jeremy Irons, Watchmen, Paul Mescal, Normal People, Aaron Paul, El Camino, Mark Ruffalo, I Know This Much Is True. And then on the actress side, it's Cate Blanchett for Mrs. America, Caitlin Dever for Unbelievable, Shira Hess for Unorthodox, Regina King, Watchmen, Octavia Spencer, Self-Made, and Merritt Weaver, Unbelievable.
Just missing for actors was actually another Emmy nominee, Jeremy Pope, in 7th place. I should have known from our Gold Derby voting that Russell Crowe would miss. He finished 11th with us. So that was interesting there. For the actresses, we actually had Daisy Edgar Jones. Poor Daisy Edgar Jones finished just out of a nomination. Paul Mescal got nominated, but she didn't get nominated for actress. Reese Witherspoon, Little Fires Everywhere, was 8th. Zoe Kazan, actually, for The Plot Against America. And an Emmy nominee, Kerry Washington for Little Fires Everywhere, rounded out our top 10.
Well, that's a very strong category. The ones you said didn't get nominated would be just as respectable as what did.
Yeah, I think Daisy Edgar probably would have gotten in if because Best Actress I felt was more stacked than Best Actor, especially with 2 women from Unbelievable, 2 women from Little Fires Everywhere competing, and so it was harder for Daisy to get in.
And I'm doing TV movie, and the nominees are American Son, Bad Education, El Camino, Togo, and Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. And limited series is, let's see, Little Fires Everywhere, Mrs. America, Normal People, Unbelievable, and Watchmen.
Yeah, Blow the Man Down just missed for TV movie. Troop Zero was in 7th. Dolly Parton's Heartstrings, the Emmy nominee, was in 8th. For limited series, just missing out was Hollywood, as I suspect it just missed out at the Emmys because it had 12 total nominations, but missed out on the top category, probably not by much. Then we had another Emmy nominee, Unorthodox, in 7th place, and Defending Jacob in 8th. And my beloved Years and Years finished in the top 10 at least.
Well, thank God for silver linings, you know. Now let's move on to some comedy categories, starting off with the guest actor. The nominees there are Luke Kirby for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Dustin Milligan for Schitt's Creek, Eddie Murphy for Saturday Night Live, Dev Patel for Modern Love, J.K. Simmons, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and Fred Willard in Modern Family. The comedy guest actress nominees are Angela Bassett for A Black Lady Sketch Show, Lisa Kudrow in The Good Place, Bette Midler, The Politician, Maya Rudolph in The Good Place, Wanda Sykes for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge for Saturday Night Live.
And I should say that voting for our awards closed 2 days before the Emmy nominations were announced. So if any of the more surprising nominations are common, it's not because our voters are like, "Ooh, Dev Patel is nominated for an Emmy. Let's vote for him for the Gold Derby Awards." No, our users had their fingers on the pulse clearly. But pour one out for Zachary Levi, who just missed out on a guest actor nomination for Maisel. John Hamm, who we were predicting for an Emmy nomination for Curb Your Enthusiasm, he finished 8th. John Mulaney finished 9th with us, and Adam Driver, one of the Emmy nominees, finished 10th for the actors. Among the actresses, we had Judith Light just missing out. Bette Midler got in, but Judith Light just missed for The Politician. Isla Fisher, Curb Your Enthusiasm, was 8th. Jane Krakowski for Curb Your Enthusiasm was 9th, and Cloris Leachman for Mad About You actually rounded out our top 10.
So, Daniel, I think if what you're saying is that the competition in these categories was no laughing matter.
As well as that joke was no laughing matter.
Working on the type 5 for when the comedy clubs reopen.
Keep working. Well, that brings us to, I'll be announcing these next 2 categories, Best Comedy Supporting, and as the Emmys do, these categories have 8 nominations for us. The nominees for Best Comedy Supporting Actor are Mahershala Ali for Rami, Andre Braugher, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Shuti Gatwa for Sex Education, William Jackson Harper, The Good Place, Nicholas Hoult, The Great, Dan Levy, Schitt's Creek, James Marsden, Dead to Me, and Tony Shalhoub, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. For Best Comedy Supporting Actress, the nominees are Gillian Anderson, Sex Education, Alex Borstein, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Darcy Carden, The Good Place, Betty Gilpin, Glow, Emily Hampshire, Schitt's Creek, Anne Hathaway, Modern Love, Kate McKinnon, Saturday Night Live, and Annie Murphy for Schitt's Creek. Now, let me see who came close. For Comedy Supporting Actress, Yvonne Orji, who actually got an Emmy nomination. She just missed with us in 9th place. Haim Abbas for Rami actually was in our top 10. And for Comedy Supporting Actor, just outside of the top 8 was another Schitt's Creek actor, Noah Reid. J.B. Smoove for Curb Your Enthusiasm rounded out our top 10. And another Good Place actor, Manny Jacinto, finished 11th with us. And another Emmy nominee, Kenan Thompson, rounded out our top 12.
Well, moving on to comedy actor, I think we're 3 out of the 6 here. So our nominees are Asa Butterfield, Sex Education, Ted Danson, The Good Place, Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Eugene Levy, Schitt's Creek, Ben Platt, The Politician, and Rami Youssef for Rami. We snubbed Michael Douglas, Don Cheadle, and Anthony Anderson. And then our comedy actress nominees are Christina Applegate, Dead to Me, Awkwafina, Nora from Queens, Kristen Bell, The Good Place, Rachel Brosnahan, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Catherine O'Hara, Schitt's Creek, and Issa Rae, Insecure. And we snubbed Linda Cardellini and Tracy Ellis Ross.
Yeah, we didn't snub Linda Cardellini very much. She finished in 7th place in our voting. And 7th place for Best Actor was Andy Samberg for Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We've actually nominated him once or twice before, so it's not surprising that he was that close to a nomination. The Emmy nominee, John Cheadle, was in 8th place with us. Michael Douglas was in 13th. And for the actresses, another one, I'm so sorry, Marcus, Elle Fanning was in 8th, so she was in the hunt, but didn't quite make it.
At least Nicholas Hoult got in.
Yeah.
Next, we have one of our unique categories, Comedy Episode. The nominees are Finale, Modern Family, Happy Ending, Schitt's Creek, It's Not You, It's Me, Dead to Me, A Jewish Girl Walks into the Apollo, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, The View from Halfway Down, BoJack Horseman, and Whenever You're Ready, The Good Place. So lots of series finales here. And then for comedy series, our nominees are Better Things, Dead to Me, The Good Place, Insecure, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Schitt's Creek, Sex Education, and What We Do in the Shadows.
And again, our voting closed before Emmy nominations. So what we do in the shadows, we should have known from our voting that it was going to potentially get in at the Emmys. For the episodes, just missing out was another Schitt's Creek episode, Moira Rose, and then another Maisel episode. It's Comedy or Cabbage.
Where did Shadows finish in comedy episode? Since they got 3 writing Emmy nominations.
It was, I'm not even sure they made our top 30 runoff for episodes. And for series, we had Curb Your Enthusiasm just missing in 9th place. And I mean just missing. He was out by 6 points. And then Rami in 10th place. And again, I'm so sorry, Marcus the Great in 11th.
Rami keeps missing series. He keeps getting these acting nominations everywhere, but keep missing series.
And it's interesting that we had the reverse of the Emmys. We nominated Larry David, but not Curb Your Enthusiasm. The Emmys nominated Curb Your Enthusiasm, but not Larry David for acting. So, and we had better things than for comedy series, but Pamela Adlon didn't quite make it into our acting race. So interesting kind of differences there.
You had a ton of sex education nominations, huh?
4.
So now we're moving on to the drama genre, starting with guest actor. And the nominees are Jason Bateman, The Outsider, James Cromwell, Succession, Charles Dance, The Crown, Damon Harriman, Mindhunter, Dean Norris, Better Call Saul, and Andrew Scott for Black Mirror. And then drama guest actress, the nominees are Alexis Bledel, Handmaid's Tale, Laverne Cox, Orange is the New Black, Miley Cyrus, for Black Mirror, Cherry Jones, Succession, Jane Lapotaire for The Crown, and Cicely Tyson, How to Get Away with Murder.
Yeah, for guest actor, one of the Emmy nominees, Ron Cephas Jones, just missed out in 7th place. And actually in 8th place, we had Alexander Skarsgård for On Becoming a God in Central Florida. And then Beau Bridges in 9th. And for the actresses, Harriet Walter, an Emmy nominee, just missed out in 7th place. Another Emmy nominee, Felicia Rashad, just missed out in 8th. And actually, Maria Doyle Kennedy for Outlander was in 9th.
Am I up now?
I've got drama supporting categories and drama supporting actor. The 8 nominees are Jonathan Banks, Better Call Saul, Billy Crudup, The Morning Show, Kieran Culkin, Succession, David Harbour for Stranger Things, Matthew McFadden, Succession, Josh O'Connor, The Crown, Mandy Patinkin, Homeland, and Tom Pelphrey for Ozark. So not 1, 2, 3, just 3 out of those 8 actually became Emmy nominees this week. Drama supporting actress, Helena Bonham Carter, The Crown, Laura Dern, Big Little Lies, Julia Garner, Ozark, Holly Hunter, Succession, Gugu Mbatha Raw, The Morning Show, Ray Seaver, Better Call Saul, Sarah Snook, Succession, and Meryl Streep, Big Little Lies.
Yeah, just missing out for drama supporting actors was Richard Rankin for Outlander. He was he was 31 points out of a nomination. Emmy nominee Giancarlo Esposito finished 10th. Bradley Whitford was 12th. Nicholas Braun, one of the surprise Emmy nominees, was 17th with our voting. For supporting actress, Janet McTeer was actually the closest who missed. Janet McTeer for Ozark, she was in 9th. Fiona Shaw, one of the Emmy nominees, was in 10th, and Angelica Ross, again, who was came so close to a supporting actress nomination for American Horror Story, was in our top 12 for Pose.
Well, moving on, we've got the lead acting categories in the drama series, starting off with Best Drama Actor. The nominees there are Jason Bateman for Ozark, Brian Cox for Succession, Sam Heughan in Outlander, Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul, Billy Porter in Pose, and Jeremy Strong for Succession. And in drama actress, the nominees there are Jennifer Aniston for The Morning Show, Katrina Balfe for Outlander, Olivia Colman in The Crown, Jodie Comer for Killing Eve, Nicole Kidman in Big Little Lies, Laura Linney for Ozark, and Zendaya for Euphoria.
And there are 7 nominees for the drama actress category because of an exact numerical tie in 6th place. I will not say who that tie was between so as not to influence voting in the next round, but I will say that Viola Davis just missed out on a nomination in 8th place, Octavia Spencer then in 9th place for Truth Be Told on Apple TV+, MJ Rodriguez rounding out our top 10. And among the actors, Tobias Menzies, poor guy, can't catch a break here at the Emmys. He finished 7th. 2 others that are near and dear to my heart finished 8th and 9th. Jonathan Groff in Mindhunter and Rami Malek in Mr. Robot. I am glad that Mindhunter did get a nomination for guest acting at least. And Sterling K. Brown, one of the Emmy nominees, rounded out our top 10.
And next up is drama episode. Aberfan from The Crown, All In Ozark, Fire Pink Ozark, I Want to Know, Big Little Lies, Never Knew Love Like This Before, Pose, and This Is Not for Tears, Succession. And for drama series, the lineup is Better Call Saul, Big Little Lies, The Crown, Euphoria, Ozark, Pose, Stranger Things, and Succession.
And for Better Call Saul, tied for 7th place with itself, Bagman and Bad Choice Road both had the exact same number of points, and they were both out of the nomination by 12 points. And then 2 more episodes of Succession were 9 and 10 there. For drama series, close calls included Outlander, missed out on a nomination by 15 points. Then The Morning Show, then my beloved Mindhunter, who I voted for, in 11th place. Homeland 12th, one of the Emmy nominees, Killing Eve, in 13th. And The Mandalorian was not even close. I believe that was 17th.
Next, we have another one of our own categories, Breakthrough Performer of the Year. The nominees are Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Daisy Edgar-Jones, Shira Haas, Paul Mescal, Josh O'Connor, and Bowen Yang.
Yeah, so Daisy did manage to get in here. And again, another close call for Jeremy Pope. He finished 7th again.
He has his Tony nominations, it's fine.
Yeah,
and his Emmy nomination.
He has the Emmy nomination, so he's good. Anna Sophia Robb and another Hollywood actor, David Corn Sweat, was 9th. Jaden Martell from Defending Jacob, and Knives Out was in 10th place. Although this had nothing to do with Knives Out, that's film, this is only TV.
And then we've got Ensemble of the Year, which is across all genres. Shows are eligible from all genres, and the nominees are Big Little Lies, Mrs. America, Ozark, Pose, Schitt's Creek, Succession, and Watchmen.
And again, there's 7 nominees in that category due to a numerical tie. And it was almost a 3-way tie for 6th place because The Crown just missed out on a nomination for Ensemble by 4 points. And then Better Call Saul was also very close in 9th place. And then The Good Place rounding out our top 10. So to round out these awards, I will be announcing the nominees for Performer of the Year. And these are not attached to any one particular project, just like the Breakthrough category. And it's for basically your achievements on television throughout the TV season. So some of these actors had multiple projects. And all of these actors are women. The nominees for Performer of the Year are Cate Blanchett, Regina King, Laura Linney, Catherine O'Hara, Merritt Weaver, and Reese Witherspoon. And just missing out on a nomination, also a woman in 7th place, was Allison Janney. And the highest ranked man in this category, poor man can't catch a break, Brian Cox was in 8th place, Bob Odenkirk in 9th, and Dan Levy actually rounding out our top 10 for his very myriad achievements on Schitt's Creek.
I know you wouldn't have this in front of you, but Reese Witherspoon obviously had 3 acting roles, 3 producing projects this past year. Is she maybe one of the first people ever up for Performer of the Year who didn't get an acting nomination?
It's probably not the first time it's happened, although it's probably very rare, because it's one of those interesting things. Like, and it was at the Emmy. She didn't get any Emmy nominations, but she was probably fairly close in a couple of those Emmy categories. So if the Emmys had a Performer of the Year category like we do, I'm pretty sure Reese probably would have made it there. Just given the breadth of material she had and the just the role she had, not just as an actor but as also as a producer. And so let me
sheer
get the
quality and quantity alone, she could win this category. I'm not saying how I'm going to vote, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, she got a Best Drama Series in there. She got a Best, I believe, Little Fire is Everywhere. We nominated for Limited Series, even though it didn't get acting. And yeah, so yeah, she's definitely well represented here. Let me give a rundown of the nomination totals for some of the top nominees. The only nominee in the double digits is Succession. It's nominated 11 times here. Then you've got Schitt's Creek with 9 nominations. And with 8 nominations, you've got The Good Place, Ozark, and Watchmen. With 7 nominations, you've got The Crown and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. And with 6, Big Little Lies. So a very interesting spread there. It'll be interesting to see how that translates into wins in the next round.
Well, thanks to our whole editing team for working on this with us today, as well as over the last few weeks. We are launching the event right now in the Prediction Center. So you go in and make your picks across the 30 categories. Now you don't rank anymore. You'll see all of these nominees in each category, but you can only pick one. And ultimately, the vote totals will tell us over in September who the winners are in all of these categories. And these winners and nominations go on to everybody's IMDb pages. It's part of their Oscar and Golden Globe and Emmy histories, along with those big TV products. And so anyway, you can start voting right now. You've got well over a month to vote. Make your picks today if you'd like, and then you can go back in, and as you see more stuff, you can make changes if you want. You're not locked in once you make your votes. And thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all throughout our Emmy coverage over the next few weeks.